Hi, welcome to our Sunday preview for this 21st Sunday of the year. Did you ever have to stand with somebody who was all on his own, who was totally unpopular? That's what happens to St. Peter this week. Let's read from the Gospel of John, chapter 6. It says, many of Jesus' disciples who were listening said, "This saying is hard. Who can accept it?" And Jesus knew that his disciples were murmuring about this, and he said, "Does this shock you? What if you were to see the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? It is the Spirit that gives life. The flesh is of no avail. The words I have spoken to you are spirit and life. There are some of you who do not believe." Jesus knew from the beginning the ones who would not believe and the one who would betray him. And he said, "For this reason I have told you that no one can come to me unless it is granted him by my Father." As a result of this, many of the disciples returned to their former way of life and no longer accompanied him. Jesus then said to the 12, "Do you also want to leave?" Simon Peter answered him, "Master, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life, and we have come to believe, and we are convinced that you are the Holy One of God." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, you'll remember the Gospel the last several weeks where we've been building up, and Jesus has been giving that long discourse on the bread of life after having multiplied the loaves and the fishes. And he keeps insisting with the crowd that this bread of life, his body and blood, is the true bread that gives life to the world, and that they have to eat his body and drink his blood to have eternal life. And when they start to complain and murmur, he insists, he doubles down. And that's where the scene picks up today. He says, "This is a hard saying," they all say. "We can't believe this." And they go back to their former way of life, and they leave Jesus standing there with the 12. And Jesus turns to the 12 and asks them if they'll go away too. And Peter, with a great act of faith, says, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to know and believe that you are the Holy One of God." You see, Jesus lets everybody leave because he's serious about the reality of the Eucharist, his very body and blood. And then if you want to be a follower of Jesus, you have to believe that. You have to receive Holy Communion. You have to believe it's the true body and blood of Christ. And Peter, in this act of faith, says, "Lord, I'll stand with you even if everyone else abandons you." And those 12 stand there on that hillside as the crowds of thousands walk away, mocking, scorning, ridiculing Jesus, saying that they had wasted their time following him. Sometimes in life we have to do that. We have to stand with Christ, stand up for our faith, even when it's going to cost us something, even when we're alone. Are we ready to do that? Even if many people don't believe in the truth of the Eucharist, do we? Do we know it to be the bread of life?